Hi everyone, welcome back. Hope you guys are having a great day. So this is a clip from a previously recorded video. This is a much shorter clip of it. But as always, not financial advice, for entertainment only. Do your own research. And I'm invested in closing companies. And if you enjoy this type of content, hit the like button, subscribe, helps me out tremendously. And let's get into the clip. Riot announces July 2023 production update and operational updates. And this is kind of, it's a little disappointing here. So Bitcoin produced was 410 compared to 460 in June. They did increase their HODL a little bit here to 7,275. They added basically 10 more BTC into it. They sold 400 Bitcoin right there. Their deployed hash rate is still 10.7 exahash. And then power credits, they actually got less for the power credits at 6.4 million compared to 8.4 million there. And demand response credits, they got 1.8 million, a little bit more than the 1.7 they got in June. So that's a little bit, that's good there. Combined total is going to be what, about 8.2 million in total. So it is lower than they had in June, obviously, but that does add to their bottom line nonetheless. Okay, and I think that was it. Okay, here we go. So estimated hash rate growth. As previously disclosed, Riot is in the process of repairing damage incurred in Building G during the severe winter storm in Texas in December 2022. I mean, we're getting close to almost being there a year. That's basically, what is it now? 8 months or so since that happened, and they still haven't fixed that. Obviously, they're possibly waiting on some parts or something like that that's causing the delays maybe. And then Riot now anticipates achieving a total self-mining hash rate capacity of 12.5 exahash at its Rockdale facility in the second half of 2023, which we're obviously in right now. So that could be any time between now and the end of December, really. Okay. So just wanted to point that out. And let's take a look at the numbers that I do have for them. So Riot, let's see here. I think for Riot, I think I pulled in everything that I needed to. So Riot has 175 million shares outstanding. Stock price is at $17.81. Market cap is at 3.1 billion right now. They've had actually really good performance here the last 12 weeks for the most part. 12 weeks ago, they're up 73% from there. 8 weeks, they're up 77.9%. 4 weeks ago, they're up 18.7%. And then last week, they were basically flat at 0%. BTC production also has been coming down here as we've been getting into the summer months with them. So it seems like they're curtailing more and more as obviously the heat waves and everything else impacts the electrical grid in Texas. And that's having obviously an impact on them in their production. So it's kind of cyclical, it seems like. We see it here in July and August of last year. They were kind of coming down as well. And they kind of went back up towards the wintertime when they could mine definitely more unless they had really cold winters. Then they curtailed a little bit there. But it seems like the best time for them is going to be during the winters, as it looks like right now. HODL position is, let me see here, 7,275. We talked about that. They sold, based on my numbers, it looks like 385. They said 400. That could be, let's see here, 725. Is that right? Let me see here. Where is it? 7,000. Where's the HODL? 7,275. Yeah, that's what I have them at. 7,275. That's coming up to be 38 Bitcoin sold, it looks like. If I have that information correct, which I think I do. Okay, but there's a BTC production has been coming down. Hopefully, once we get into August, September, and into October, those numbers will start going up as they have to curtail less. Here's the monthly difference for those. BTC HODL has been increasing here ever since last year, which is good to see. Bitcoin efficiency, BTC per exahash, is pretty low, 38.32. They curtailed a lot. This month, BTC sold. I have them at 385. They reported 400. We'll see how those numbers stack up, but that's kind of where I'm getting at. And then they've been pretty much stuck at kind of like Iris also since June at 10.7 exahash, and they were at 10.5 prior to that for a couple months. They did order a bunch of miners, obviously, going into the halving event. We'll see how fast they can get those up and running. That should get them up to the 20-some exahash, I believe, which will be nice to see as well. And then here's a revenue for the last 12 months, including last July of 2022. They were at 6.8 million back then. And they're at 12.3 million right now. On that one, hash rate difference, obviously no change there. BTC sold value, how much they basically sold, roughly. Then we got the last 4 quarters revenue, self-mining. You guys can take a look at that. Operating costs as well. We'll cover that when they actually report their quarterly results here, I believe, next week. And yeah, so I actually do have their analyst ratings here, but let's take a look at the numbers here for them, how much they actually curtailed. So in July, based on my numbers, it looks like they curtailed for about, what is that, 14 days, 15 days or so. I have them running at 15.9 days out of the month here. And that's with being everything installed. That got us to the 12.33 billion in revenue, which should be, yeah, 12.334, which is what I have right here, based on the Bitcoin average price in July. Okay, definitely a lot of curtailment there. And based on the numbers here, analysts actually did increase here for them by 1. It looks like shares did increase quite nicely here by about 2 million, roughly, almost, I would say almost 3 million. Looks like they're almost at 76.9 million now. 43% is owned by institutions. We still have 3 strong buy ratings, 6 buy ratings. Price target is $24 now, which is a nice increase from the 16 they had. Average is at $17.31 and the low is $13. I have them right now kind of overvalued based on their last 12 months of operation or last 4 quarters. So this includes the current quarter that we're in, which is Q3 numbers. Those are estimates, along with the Q2 numbers, which are estimate, and then we have the Q1 and Q4 numbers, which are actual numbers for them. Based on that, I have them between $9.41 and $17.81. That's definitely kind of like on the average side of things where analysts are looking at them. And then also, if we look at them, but this doesn't also include the energy credits they get or revenue that they might get from the energy side of things. This is strictly looking at Bitcoin. So you can always add that into it, whatever they're getting on average for the energy credits as well. If we look at the futures for the next 12 months, before the halving, 8 months, and then 4 months after the halving at half of the revenue, with the current month, I have them at $7.05 to $10.57. If we add in there the 8.2 million roughly, that's what number we get then if we add that in there as well. So we'll do this pretty quickly here. We'll try to do this. Let me see, multiplying that by the halving. Hopefully this doesn't screw things up, but we'll try it. Okay, 8,200,000. It's gonna probably multiply first, then yeah, that's not gonna work. Let's see here. So let's just do this. We'll change this just for the time being. So 8.2, that would get us to 20,500,000, and then we'll change it back 20,500,000. And then let's see what we get here. So then we get still a stock price of $11.71 to $17.56. They're at $17.81 right now, which would be kind of fairly valued right now if their numbers were that way. Now, given that they could curtail less going forward, those numbers could definitely improve for them. And obviously the stock can go up a lot higher than that. And if we're looking forward to Bitcoin price possibly going up as well into the halving event, that's obviously going to help drive revenue, which would then also improve their future outlook as well. Okay, but that's kind of where we're at. Otherwise, if we change that back to what it was, there we go. We're looking at these numbers here. Okay, so you got to take into a lot of things that go into this as well. Okay, so that's it for Riot. Like I said, they curtailed a lot. Would love to see them curtail a little bit less, but given where they are located at in Texas, I think that's kind of the monster in the room, unfortunately. Okay, so that's it for that one.